Well, we are here at the fabulous Elsternwick Hotel here in the suburb of Elsternwick. Payka, who would have guessed that, for Payka and Mora's Fantasy Review.
Already round 7, and Mora, you missed last week. Welcome back.
Thanks, it's good to be back. I felt something was missing out of my last week.
It's a big show tonight. We've got a lot to get through. Let's just jump straight into it.
Well, Payks, it's another great week of fantasy to have a look at. There were some wins across the board, as there usually are. Camel had a good win. Elliot took care of Levy, which we were all pleasantly surprised about. Wins there for Greg, Andrew Lifson, Larkus and Wayne. But one that we want to have particularly close look at is Lenger's win over Ron.
Yes, Mora, it was a close game. It was, what, 19 points?
19 points in it.
And it did come down to the wire, the wire being the game at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon between Melbourne and Carlton.
Well, yeah, there was just 3 players left in that game, and they all belonged to Ron. Lenger had put the runs on the board, the groundwork was there. Adam Trelaw had done the job for him once again, as you'd expect he might do a couple of times.
Carrying the responsibility of the team name.
Being the mascot of the team, as you might say. Lots of responsibility, as you rightly put up, but he put the runs on the board. He was 206 points in the clear, Lenger, when the last 3 players took to the field. All Ron's players, they needed just 70 points in average, the 3 of them, and Mitch Robinson held up his end of the bargain and then some, putting up 99, which left just 107 points for Jack Trenkove and Jack Viney to get for Melbourne and Payks.
Well, it's one of those things that every Melbourne supporter has the pleasure of looking forward to, including me, a vested interest in Jack Watts, obviously with Watts Watch. Who knows where the fuck he is at the moment? Certainly not me, I need him back.
The Jacks are just failing because Jack Viney and Jack Trenkove failed to get 110 points or 107.
And Jack Grimes with the shoulder.
Jack Grimes, don't even start me on him, he's out for a long while. So Lenger ended up, he would have been sweating on it at half time, but eventually runs on the board, 1 out.
Mora, I just wanted to pull back to Greg's win.
Yes, I did.
It was conveniently left out. It was against you.
I did skip over that quite fleetingly.
I would as well.
Fair enough. Well, just to cause me a little further embarrassment, David King is over in the war room and he wants to run the rule over that game in a little more detail. Kingy?
Here we are in the war room with Greg, the winner of the week. He's going to explain to us how he managed to do it, scoring 1540 in a week when nobody, especially Eugene, thought it was impossible. Greg, how did you do it?
It was just a good week for us. It was the motivation. It was the mental game. It was last week when Eugene said we couldn't do it. Well, we did it. That was the motivation. Also bringing in a key recruit, Kevin Bradley, as a coach, coming from a winning team. It was a key player in the motivation of the team this week.
Do you have anything you'd like to say to Eugene?
I just want to tell him, Eugene, you were wrong.
And so let's have a look at how you set up during the week at training and how you brought it out onto the field against Mora.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with my defence. It was a key player here was Marty Clark in defence, taking out Tom Hawkins over there. So Tom Hawkins played pretty much like a player stuck on a steel rod, no movement at all, squeaky as anything. And once we took him out, yeah, he needs a lot of oil and a lot of weight loss. So once we take him out of the picture, it leaves our defenders, all our running backs, to be able to attack through into the midfield and give them possession.
And your midfield, you just had a great week in your midfield. Taylor Adams and Dusty.
Yeah,
where were they set up?
For me, it was all about getting the ball through the middle, through the centre of the ground, through the corridor. So I had the big hard body. We brought Dusty Martin up into the midfield, Taylor Adams and Travis Boak. They were there to get the ball, kick it long, get up into the forward line as quick as possible and get as much of it as they could.
And into your forward line,
yep.
You go with that setup there. How you're able to generate enough score through there?
Yeah. So the key forwards this week was it's all about firstly new recruit Chad Bellingham over there, and Brandon Matera over there, his job was really to take Gilbert out of the game. Creating basically the whole game was aimed at getting Big Coxie into the game over there, up forward. Right, it was a key there, right at the tip there. And then he was just able to just kick the goals as much as he could.
off the Twitter from SY Mora. Why this week of all weeks?
There was nothing personal against Mora this week. It's just, it had to happen eventually. It's been probably 10 years since my last bit of luck, so lots of broken a mirror somewhere along the way, and it's finally coming back to...
I heard him say during the week, I don't know if it was on or off the record, that this was meant to be his percentage boosting week.
Well, I guess if you want to have a percentage boosting week, you've got to actually have a big score yourself. So, Mora, sorry about that, but maybe focus on your own team before you focus on the opposition.
And one last question. Is the board going to consider a name change?
I think it's about time now that we can change it to Eugene. You were wrong.
Greg, thanks very much for your time tonight here in the Wall Room.
I look forward to seeing you in the Sacco at the end of the year.
We hope to see you right here to preview that game.
Exactly.
Where Big Coxie might not be there.
It's all about the Cox.
Well, thanks, boys. That was very thorough.
Thorough is a good word for it, but it did show us how Greg shafted his way to a victory.
Yes, well, we can move on to the next week on that one, Payka. That was awful. Looking ahead, a couple of good games this week, but one in particular that we would like to look at, and that is the breakout Elliot against the breakdown Tull.
Well, I've had another look at Tull's team. I actually gotta say he's doing enough to win the games when they're in close and tight. He has scored 200 less points than a team lower down the bottom, towards the bottom of the ladder, and he's won 2 more games. So there's something in the water that they drink down there defensively. I wanted to have a look at Darren Jolly's return last week. I thought it was great. Good number of points, and this will continue this week with the game against the Dockers without Sanderlands in the ruck. Also, Mr. Dinosaur, 40 whatever how old he is this week. Happy birthday to Dustin Fletcher.
Do you reckon the birthday party celebrations will get in the way of their preparation this week?
Well, I know they've gone nuts down there over a while, so it could continue and it could hamper his performance this week.
Does Tull have the midfield strength to keep up with Elliott's midfield?
I wouldn't have thought so. I think you've had a pretty good look at Schulberg's midfield, and it's strong. I don't know who's in it exactly, but Mora does it.
It's probably maybe it's up there with Wayne's. Put it that way. It's that good. We're looking at players like Mitchell and Watson, Shuey, Cooney and Ward. They're all putting in great scores. Cooney is miraculously staying on the park.
A fit Cooney makes a big difference to any team he's in.
He's got 2 Brownlow medalists in there, and Mitchell is just waiting in the wings to become a third. So it's a fantastic battle, and it's a fantastic midfield. It'll be a fantastic battle, and I'm really looking forward to see how it pans out.
Your tip?
I'm going with Elliot.
Hard to look past the juggernaut that is Elliot on his way to what could be a wooden spoon to premiership in 12 months.
The league needs a strong Elliot. Would you agree with that statement?
I would, and I've also thought that the league needs a strong Archies as well, but that's not going to happen.
Yes, well, I don't think the league needs a strong Morowitz. I think they need them to suffer more stiff defeats.
The league just needs Mora to keep coming back to be involved in things like this. Anyway, good luck to all out there. Hope you get a win. And we'll catch you next week.
I hope Dickie Henderson puts in a good performance as well. Dean Cox!
Good night, everybody.